Hi, I'm your host, Reed Brian Kimball, and welcome to this week's edition of the Wanted Crohn's and IBD Newsweek. In the next few minutes, you'll hear interesting news and happenings from around the inflammatory bowel disease world. If you haven't seen the first episode, you can watch it by clicking the link in the description of this video down below. TheScientist.com has a report on new research that has found correlations between a person's microbiome and their genetic profile. In broad terms, the microbiome includes all the microbes, such as viruses and bacteria, that live on and in our bodies. Rand Bleckman, who was involved in the study, believes that maybe a person's genes control the composition of their microbiome. This may be why the Jewish population has the highest incidence of IBD of any population. The health of the microbiome has been associated with a wide range of conditions, including autism, obesity, and inflammatory bowel disease. The potential implications are that if you have a certain gene profile and microbiome composition, the two together can make you more susceptible to certain diseases. It's important to understand that IBDs are not purely genetic. Genetics play a factor, but the microbiome composition in our gut and the environment that surrounds us is also critical. We have now entered the antibiotics era, says Dr. Arjun Srinivasan in a PBS online interview. Antibiotics have been used to save people from bacterial infections that would have otherwise killed them. It has also made organ transplants possible. Unfortunately, this powerful therapy has been irresponsibly used by health practitioners, and now many bacteria have developed resistance to the antibiotics that once killed them. In this new era, IBD patients are particularly at risk because the medications they take weaken their immune systems, making them more vulnerable to life-threatening infections. It's a long interview, but I highly recommend you read it as it's one of the most important news in the health world today. If it's the end of the antibiotic era, what era are we in now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below this video. Now for something a little less depressing. Because our guts are so messed up, sometimes the gas we have could be considered a chemical weapon. I'm surprised I haven't been labeled a terrorist, and Colin Powell didn't call me out during his presentation to the UN. We know he has chemical weapons. He's hiding them in his pants. Thankfully, there's a chemical warfare grade product that will keep you and my chemical weapons from being noticed by the prying eyes of our government. It's called Shreddies. Shreddies are undies that keep your farties from becoming smellies. I made that up. Shreddies use chemical warfare grade technology called Zorflex, which is activated carbon that absorbs the gases and prevents them from reaching poor, unsuspecting nostrils of those nearby. I gotta say, Zorflex is a cool word. Zorflex. Sounds like a superhero name. I like superheroes. I wouldn't mind having some Zorflex in my pants. Oh, hell no. Well, that's the end of this week's episode of the Wanted Crohn's and IBD Newsweek. Links to these stories appear below this video in the description on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment, and share with your friends and family. Tune in next week for another episode of interesting news and happenings in the inflammatory bowel disease world. I'm your host, Reed Bryant Kimball, and remember, my friends, stay colonized.